Time in talking. Am I
And
right or
these
not, ma'am?
lesson, yeah, very true, very true. These lesson plan formats you will be sending.
Only one format. That is
Yeah, one
universal
format.
format.
Yeah, there's only one
That can
format.
be applied on mathematics, English,
Yeah.
Hindi, social science, anything.
So the best thing what I liked in your plan yesterday was smarter ER.
SMARTER. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So the
चलिए
tool
दोबारा से
ER.
शुरू करते हैं उसको फिर दोबारा से आज.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this wonderful session on. May I request everybody to mute yourself because there was too much of disturbance from the background. So please mute yourself and then we proceed for next 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 42 minutes, depends upon how fast we can move together. So basically when we consider about lesson planning, first we must know about what exactly is a lesson. Second thing is what is a plan? And then combinedly, what is a lesson plan? मोहन जी मेरी स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही है आपको?
जी हाँ सर नजर आ रही है.
चलिए, that's great. So we move on to the next one. What exactly is a plan? Now, plan exactly is nothing but it is a process of reaching your destination or arrangement for doing something in future. Say, for example, I got a plan to reach the destination that is from Ghaziabad to Delhi. Now, for reaching Delhi from Ghaziabad, I will make a plan. What time I have to reach, and then backwards I calculate and then I find out if nearly 1 hour before I will have to start. What mode of transportation I will, right? Right. Then next thing is, it is a roadmap to attain the ultimate goal. Basically, the plan is all those things which we prepare, planning beforehand to reach a particular destination. Whether it is traveling, whether it is going to the restaurant, whether it is going to a class. Now, this is the problem. Okay, I tell everybody, whenever you are joining, you join any webinar, not mine only, everybody's webinar at least 5 minutes before. So that if you have got any problem midway, the next thing is that you can contact me. Yesterday, there were nearly 27 calls. I could not pick up anybody because otherwise this lesson would have extended to 1.5 hours with wastage of 30 minutes. Now, second thing is a lesson. Lesson is anything which is intended to be or should be learned. Lesson can be related to a moral story. Lesson can be related to your experience. What experience do you get? That is a lesson you learn. Whenever you are performing any task, either you are attaining the success or you are learning something out of it. It is never a waste. It can never be waste. Now, lesson plan, hota kya hai? What is lesson plan? A lesson plan is basically a teacher's daily guide on the basis of which he describes or plans out what students need to learn, how they will learn, and how learning will be taking place along with its measurement, that is assessment. इसके बाद होता है, there are a number of parts in the lesson plan. Starting from the first one, I will describe each and every part separately. And basically the lesson plan teaches you or tells you or helps the teachers to how to be more effective in the classroom teaching by providing a detailed outline. Each and every component should be described in the lesson plan so that you are on the right track. Your roadmap is very much clear in front of you. And that is why we say, when I was principal, I used to tell ask every teacher to prepare one lesson plan for 15 days. for next fortnight. Today you will be submitting for next fortnight. Every Monday, every alternate Monday, they used to give me their teacher's diary with a lesson plan written over there. From that teacher's diary, I used to make my own list. That is the list of Monday, fourth period. I will have to go to social science, name of the teacher. So that I look at the chart. Oh, next period I have go to eighth in science. I will go over there. Sit over there. I will give you the performer for lesson planning. And then observation will be of your either coordinator or vice principal or principal, whosoever is. So whosoever is in charge over there, they will be going to your class to observe you. Whether it is, I'm not saying wrong. They do give you sort of peer reflection. Sitting from looking at the things happening in the class from outside, not as a member of the house. And then they give you the feedback. This thing could be improved. This thing has to be deleted. And so that we refine our lesson plans on daily basis within the next 15 days, when I put up the next lesson plan, then it is better than the previous one. And that is the main purpose, that our teaching should be effective. Now, the next thing is, a lesson plan is the teacher's guide for running a particular lesson, and it includes 3 major goals. First thing is goal. Goal, aim, objective, they are all the same thing. But in educational terminology, we write it as objectives, learning objectives, or learning outcomes, or aim of the lesson. Like say, for example, the people tell me that in the arts classes, there cannot be lesson plan. Why not? After today's teaching, the student will be able to draw the rough pencil sketch of any object, nature, or anything which they feel or visualize in their mind. So that can be goal for the art class. Music class, they will be able to identify high note, middle note, and low note. These are the goals. And this is my purpose of teaching music today in class 7. The way how it will be done, the goal will be reached. That is the methods, the procedures, the instructional mode, the visual aids, the teaching aids, which I will be using to reach that particular goal. So that is more important. And then when everything is finished, then I will have to assess how well the goal was reached. I say, for example, if after a delivery of the lesson, if 8 students reach the objective out of 10, that means your goal is achieved 80%. And that is what I used to tell the teachers also. If a student fails in your class, it is not the student who has failed. It is you who has failed by 2.5%. You calculate 1 upon 40 into 100 is 2.5, which means you have failed in the effective delivery of your lessons by 2.5%. That cannot be 100% always, but it has to linger between 99, 9900, 9900, like that. It cannot be 80%. That is not acceptable in most of the terms. I will give you the learning objectives, how they are framed. Now, the next thing is the components. These are basically the components of a lesson plan in the same order that are to be done, that are to be undertaken. With that format, I will give you when tomorrow morning or day after, I will send you the certificates along with recordings of both the days. Whosoever wants to see the first can see that. If you want to see this one, you can see that. Depends upon your choice, whichever you feel shorter. Yesterday's was 38-minute session. First is title, list of objectives, teaching aids, instruction mode, independent practice by the students. Then summarization or recapitulation, what we call. Recapitulation means, जैसे हम serial देखते हैं, so whenever I am looking at the today's serial, it will be showing ab tak. Till today, till now, you have seen this. That is recapitulation. Now the main body. And then after that, kal dekhiye, see tomorrow. वो थोड़ा सा reflection दिखा देते हैं, थोड़ा सा portion दिखा देते हैं. Then evaluation component. Now your self-reflection on your own delivery, whether it was right or it can be improved further. And then finally the assignment. We will discuss them one by one. Title of the lesson. Now this is the place, this is on the top. The first component is lesson plan. Of the lesson plan is title of the lesson. This is the place where the unit or subunit or topic, whatsoever you are dealing with today, has to be written. Now, for example, that is the duration of lesson, that is 40 minutes. Over here, I will rectify myself that none of the lessons is 40 minutes. The bell rings between, the duration between two bell ringing is 40 minutes. Once the bell rings, you come out of the previous class, go to the staff room, have a glass of water, exchange your, keep your previous material down in the locker, take another one, and then move towards the next class. If you are punctual, it is considered that within 4 to 5 minutes, you will be coming out of one class, going to the staff room, immediately putting up the previous one, taking the next material, and moving on to the, without any gossips in the staff room. That is to be important. Now, for example, what can be the title of the lesson? Cell, that is biology. Or even in the physics also there are cells. Types of cells. Filtration. What are the methods of filtration? Fuel. Fossil fuels के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Today the topic is fuel and the subtopic is fossil fuels. Today we will study about the triangles, and now today we'll be defining only the types of the triangles. Say for example, in the English language or Hindi language, parts of a speech. Today they will be able to learn verbs. अभी ये मैंने बहुत raw आपको objective बताया है, लेकिन जो lengthy objective जो exact होना चाहिए, that we will be discussing it a few minutes. Teaching aids. Over here, you have to utilize all the material which is available with you for enhancement of learning in the students. You see, all the lesson plans have to be student-centric rather than teacher-centric. Just for example, I tell you, in this webinar only, yesterday there were 100 and today there are 36, although 167 have registered. So what about rest 40? Think about this. So teaching process is supported by these teaching aids. For example, chalkboard, whiteboard, blackboard, charts, flashcards. In the science section or the mathematics section, you can talk about apparatus that you will be utilizing like beaker, mathematical box, phonics, videos, maps. Even abhi South ka maine ek school mein dekha tha, they are utilizing artificial intelligence for animation purpose when they are teaching about a greedy dog. A virtual dog is visible in the class. That is by 3D animation. And they are utilizing it. And by utilizing these teaching aids, what exactly you are doing is you are creating interest in your students, for your subjects. And that is more important rather than me delivering a lesson for 35, 34 minutes without having encouraging them or enhancing their interest in my subject and then coming back to the staff room. वो नहीं होता है. Lesson planning होती ही इसीलिए so that it is done. The goal or the destination is reached successfully. Now next one is learning objectives. Now these are the sort of statements, a combination of small parts, and then they are combined into a sentence. What they will learn, when they will learn, how they will learn, under what conditions or circumstances they will learn, That means condition. Condition means restriction. अभी आपको देते हैं example. Now, what are the resources with which they will learn? To what degree of precision they will learn? And this is what we exactly intend to do is maximum learning outcome or objectives are attained. And then what are the limitations? Let us see. These are the promises to the students about learning. How they will learn, what they will learn, when they will learn, under what circumstances they will learn, what will be the constraints, what will be the teaching aids. All those things come together to give you the purpose of this lesson, that is smarter. First is specific, SMARTER. मुझे नहीं पता इसको क्या बोलते हैं शॉर्ट में. एक्सपेंडेड फॉर्म ये होती है, तो एब्रीविएशन नहीं कहते, समथिंग डिफरेंट. They have to be specific. Number two is they have to be measurable, meaningful, and attainable. If they are measurable, meaningful, and not attainable, सब कुछ ठीक है, measurable है, I want to climb Mount Everest, fine. It is meaningful because I am a climber, I am a mountaineer, fine. But whether it is attainable, under what circumstances it will be, what are the constraints, what are the aids I will be getting? Achievable. It is achievable, attainable, both. Measurable also it is. And realistic, relevant, within reasonable time. I will learn French language within next 3 months. It is time bound. My future course of action will be learning German. But how long you will take to learn German, Spanish, or French? I will go to Delhi, but when it is not decided, then this is irrelevant. It is evaluable. पहुंचने के बाद बोलते हैं हम लोग, when we reach our destination, like for example from Ghaziabad to Delhi or Nagpur to Delhi, then certainly we, oh, what a hectic journey. And sometimes we are very pleasingly expressing ourselves, what a pleasant journey it was. So depending upon our experience, so we evaluate our journey, we evaluate similarly the lesson plan also. We measure our performance, reevaluate then, that is reflection, and then whether it is rewardable or improvable depends upon how we approach. Now, what are these objectives? You see, basically, I'll explain to you each word. Listen very carefully. This recording you will be getting. Next is this. They are dependent upon, this is Bloom's taxonomy. K का से याद करने के लिए, for remembering it is K का से, KCAASE, which means K for knowledge. The student will be able to define, the student will be able to list, the student will be able to recognize. This is knowledge based, which means it is not rote learning, but it depends upon, he will be able to define what a family is. He will be able to recognize or differentiate. Abhi aage bhi aayega. Differentiate analysis ka hota hai, because we have to break them down. But this is knowledge based also, because once we know the characteristics of each element or each animal, then we will be able to define exactly whether this is aquatic animal, this is land animal, this is amphibian, this is a bird, and so on and so forth. Next is comprehension. The student will be able to characterize, will be able to describe, will be able to sort, locate on the map. That is comprehension. The knowledge base is strong. So the student will be able to locate the national capital of India within no time or within 2 minutes, something like that. Limitations, restrictions, map, each and everything will be described later on when I describe to you in detail one of that, and then a number of this objectives. The next one is application. The student will be able to choose. And these questions, mind it, these questions can be from 1 mark to 5 mark. The student will be able to list the characteristics of land animal. And we give this as out of the following figures of animals, which one is aquatic animal? This is number 1, 1 mark. Similarly, if I want to expand this type of questions, list out the major characteristics of land animals. 5 marks. You just see knowledge based here, but number of marks is 5. And this way, basically, there is one of the my webinars also, how to use Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy has vast application. एक बार गर्मियों की छुट्टियों में during summer vacations, you just try to go through Bloom's taxonomy in short. 4-5 pages will be more than sufficient. Try to absorb it. 2-3-4 बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा. You will be having mastery over that, and then you can utilize in creating your lesson plan, creating a question paper, assessment of the question answer sheets. A number of other things also will be there. Try to do that. Now next is analysis. You see, analyze or analysis means breaking down anything into different components and then find out what is the purpose of each component. That is analysis. The student will be able to categorize, differentiate. Abhi maine aapko ek example diya tha, animals. Similarly, a student will be able to compare the difference between a bush and a tree, because he knows now that what are the characteristics of a tree and what are the characteristics of a bush. Similarly, the next one is synthesize out of these components or whatsoever the ideas he has got. He will be, or student will be, bringing up different components together to create something new. So the student will be able to construct right-angled triangle after today's lesson. Will be able to design, will be able to formulate, will be able to organize. Depends upon what topic you are teaching, and on the basis of that, you can define this, what should be your objective. And the last one is evaluate. Evaluation means assess, whether the student will be able to assess the impact of earthquake whose center of origin is 100 kilometers. Yes, of course he will be. The weak structures fell down, trees uprooted, cars upside down, winds very fast or very high speed winds. So number of things. And then assessment or evaluation means ranking. This is also. Say for example, I tell you one thing, whenever you are making, like I am preparing PowerPoints, first I write all the topics haphazardly. Jo mere dimag mein aayega, whatsoever comes to my mind, I will write them down. Once I think so I have written 5, 10, 7, depends upon the duration of the webinar, then I will start. Just for in this PPT, you have first started with what is plan, what is lesson, and then what is lesson plan. First thing there, and then going in deep into the knowledge. So similarly, he will be able to rank whatsoever the things are given, whether on the basis of prioritization, which should be given the first priority, second, third, fourth, and fifth, so on and so forth. And then rating also. Like say, for example, if you write something to the Google, they will give you the answer. And then in the end, you will see 5 smileys. How do you like this answer? So that way, the students will also be rather able to evaluate. Now see, this is quick vision of your lesson plan. Everybody can see my screen, I hope so.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Now see, on the right hand side in the red script, it is written by when, then subject, then observational action. These are basically the visions. On the left hand side, I have written the whole objective of the lesson plan. By the end of this lesson, the learner will be able to cook a well done dosa on the gas stove using oil and frying pan in just 10 minutes. Now you analyze all these things separately. By the end of this lesson means by when, time limit. The subject is learner will be able to cook, that is observable action. अभी आपने देखा होगा वो किचन वाला आ रहा था एक सीरियल, 60 minutes for one dish, 150 minutes for 2 dishes, 3-course meal. They are giving components, but time limit. And you have to cook this. That is objective also is given over there. You have to utilize this as a main component. That was also given. A well done dosa, that is precision. डोसे तो सभी बना देते हैं, but a well done means crispy भी होना चाहिए, filling भी evenly distributed, and the filling should also be tasty. Then condition क्या है? On the gas stove. Kerosene stove पे अगर आप कोई भी चीज cook करेंगे, what will be the drawback of that? That you will be having the smell of kerosene in the edibles, whatsoever you cook. Next is resource, using oil and frying pan. This is your resource, teaching aid. अभी आपको उसी से कंपेयर करना है. मैं आपको एग्जैक्ट भी दूंगा अभी. Then constraint क्या है? Within 10 minutes. Everything is given. Precision is there, by when, subject, observational action, precision, condition, resources, and constraints. Everything is given over there. And then you say your time starts now. So this is the objective of a cooking class. Write it, observe it. जो भी मैं आपको वीडियो दूंगा, you will not be able to observe complete video in one go. It will be 38-40 minutes, but don't go for that. Observe it for 10 minutes, make your notes like this one. You have to make your notes. Like say, for example, I give this particular quick vision process to a mathematics teacher. Abhi aata hai uska bhi. Examples also from different subjects. Now, the first one, see. After a lesson on Pythagorean theorem, the student will be able to correctly solve at least 8 out of 10 geometry problems using the theorem. So this is my objective, that today I am going to teach Pythagorean theorem and student will be able to correctly solve at least kitna. The outcome I am defining here. Some may go for 6, some may go for 10. After the lesson, the student will be able to identify parts of digestive system even when they are shown individually by marking them in the digestive tract. You make a worksheet without any marking, without any labeling, put it in front of students. Now, once you have taught that, this is the evaluation part. The last part of when you finish your lesson, then you give this worksheet. Within the next 5 minutes, I'll be speaking out few words, and then you have to mark them in the worksheet which has been given to you. All right, students? Yes, ma'am. All right, go ahead. Kidney. Immediately they mark. Put a tick, kidney. Esophagus. Right. Put over there. Stomach. Large intestine. Small intestine. Kidney. liver, pancreas. These are all the parts of digestive system, and they will be able to mark them correctly. And that is the purpose of our lesson. That is the objective of our lesson. That is the aim of our lesson. The next example I have given is the student will be able to categorize types of animals. Abhi maine pehle example diya tha. Into correct classes with a graphic organizer. Right? After reading their traits. So what I am giving is them the traits of different animals. The traits of different animals. They read it, I teach it, they read it, revision, and then evaluation. Next is instruction mode. You see, there are 8 different type of learners. The learning styles are also different from person to person. This is not one size fit all. Some are auditory learners, some are visual learners, some are kinesthetic learners, some are solitary, some are group learners, some are solitary learners, and a number social learners. So depending upon, but how do you know? Everybody, if you have got pen and paper, you can write it down how to find out the learning style of your students. Just 10 minutes test. Online hota hai. Howtolearn.com is a website. Go over there with their mail. Let them go. Log in. And there will be a test on the screen. Just only 3 minutes. And they will automatically generate the result. He is 40% auditory, he is 60% auditory, he is 20% auditory, 40% kinesthetic, something like that, mixed. On the basis of that, आपका एक period एक दिन का थोड़ा सा जाएगा इसमें एक class के लिए, which means कि when we open up in July, 1 week you can dedicate for knowing the learning styles, and then you modify your.
So could you repeat that site? Could you repeat the site from where we can identify?
Howtolearn.com. Howtolearn.com. Now, so the instruction mode should depend upon your own teaching style should depend upon their learning styles, because our instruction has to be student centric. Instruction mode also involves use of mind, not just memory, not knowledge based. It uses application also, that is use of mind. And then it is a process of discovery in which the student is the main agent. Teacher is not. You are the agent of change. But whom to change? Those students. Attract them towards learning. Abhi maine dekha hai, for last 10 years, at the age of 54, I left everything and I started empowering the teachers all over India. And 99% cases I have seen there the teachers are not emphasizing on reading. And that is why the reading habits are slowly and slowly diminishing. And once they diminish, then they will get nothing except now, if I ask you, anybody of you, without looking back at your mobile, can you tell me my number, mobile number? That is the difference. So that has to be made as a habit. Reading should be a habit. Hamare time mein, we used to read, and whatsoever the word we used to find difficult, we used to underline. Last 10 minutes of every class, each subject, we used to find them out from the teacher. Ma'am, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? She used to translate it into other language also. Because our instructions has to be student-centric and not teacher-centric. Please mind it, always keep it in your mind. Next one is the teacher should be well versed with not only teaching methodologies, but the art of utilizing old strategies, teaching strategies. Now, if I ask you how many teaching strategies do you write? No, write it in the chat box. I will see later on. How many teaching strategies you are well versed with? Chalk and board or chalk and talk is one of the strategies that we have been using for ages. Then midway there was something in the physics class, science class, mathematics class. The weak students were forced to, okay, find out, read out the problem. Solution हम बाद में देखते हैं. At least read out the problem, because once you have got a good reading habit, I'm sorry, mixing up the words. If we have got good reading habits, we will be able to grasp the problem. And once we understand what the problem is, then solution is also not far. But unless and until we know what the problem is, how do we go for solution? So you must know the teaching strategies. Depending upon the learning styles, you can utilize them. I'm going to the next one. What are the teaching strategies? They are here. You see, don't fix it up to NEP. NEP mein abhi last entry age jo hai, it is 3 years. That is fundamental. 5, 3, 3, 4. And that way, the highest age is 18, which means the student has to be in class 12. And depending upon that age group, 5 to 8 years, 8 years means class 3. Navigation, role play, storytelling. They love it. Whatsoever the subject you are teaching, try to convert your lesson into a story. Try. In the beginning, you will be feeling a little bit, you will be facing a little bit problem how to convert. It is possible. Say, for example, if I am teaching digestive system, rather than showing them, wo bhi main karunga. I will show the diagram also of the digestive tract. But then for the testing purpose, I will ask one of the longest with a height child in front of the class. Okay, one by one you come. Now you tell, if he eats chocolate, first where it will go. So first he will say the mouth. Now what are the different names for mouth? It may be buccal cavity. It has to be, yahan pe kya, what is the process in the mouth? Crushing, cutting, and so on and so forth. If you try to develop this into a story, that they will never forget throughout the life. Next is role play. This you might be using now. And the next one is storytelling. The next is 8 to 13 years. You go for demonstration. 13 years means class 6 or 7. Even 8th class also is not taken to the laboratories. They are given demonstration by the teacher in front of the class and shown what exactly happens. Now field trips. Say, for example, different type of flowers we have to watch. Not that all the flowers we can break from the garden. That will be spoiled. So it is better to take your class into garden. Don't touch any flower and observe the different colors. Make a list of different colors. Shapes of the leaves. Even the green color has hundreds and hundreds of variety. The grass is green, the tree leaves are green, the plant leaves are green, but their shades are different. Which one do you like? Write it. Ask the students to write. Which green color is your favorite? Bottle green, military green, grass green, and so on and so forth. Keep on asking, intriguing, curiosity. One of my webinars upcoming is enhance the curiosity. When you put many questions, you enhance their curiosity. Next is for 11 to 16 years, discovery and flip teaching. Discovery I believe so. You people are quite well versed with what exactly is this. Discovery. Go into the garden and find out monocotyledon and dicotyledon plants. Go into the library and find out different Hindi poets, English poets, two languages generally we know. If they are from French also, Germany also, then certainly you can put it up into their use. Now the next one is reflection. That is most important. Reflection, you know what is reflection? You go into the mirror after the webinar and then try to find out what you see in the mirror. That is reflection. And this in the lesson planning, this is a very critical process for supporting your delivery and development as a professional. Reflection means what exactly, looking back and analyzing what you have done. That is a reflection. Whether it was up to mark or it can be improved further. If in place of a diagram, I could have taken the three-dimensional model, then certainly the students would have understood better. If I take a object of pyramid, mathematics lab में अभी तो teachers बनी बनाई लेते हैं. In our times, when I was principal, I used to force them. Thermocol, 1 inch, bring them up from the market, 50 sheets, and give them to the different teachers. Create anything new as per your subjects. They used to use that incandescent, वो क्या कहते हैं, stick. धूप बत्ती, अगरबत्ती. Lighten it up, it will never fail. And slowly they used to carve. Thermocol will melt down, and at that particular place, it will leave the gap that can be utilized. So reflecting is going back, analyzing how much effective it was. Whether there are certain parts which have to be deleted from my lesson plan, which are not very effective or which are not effective at all, which are less effective, and what else next I can add to my lesson so as to make it more attractive, more interesting, and more magnetize the students towards their subject, towards your subject. People say mathematics is a dull subject. I have studied it up to class 10. And still at the age of 62, I refresh my mind up in the morning. First 1 hour of my waking up, freshen up, thoda sa mantra bolenge. After that, I'll have a glass of water. Then I go for Sudoku. One puzzle Sudoku, I solve it. Similarly, you can go, if you are a language teacher, you can go for crosswords. There are a number of other things which you can do. On the map, locate where you are. This is my lesson plan today. The student after today's lesson will be able to locate themselves on the map, their city on the map, their state on the map, their country on the map, their country on the continent on the world map, then on the globe. And if a map is given, they will mark each and everything with a different color. Blue color, I am here. Red color, my city. Green color, my district. Purple color, my state. Try doing these things. लोग कहते हैं अभी NEP के हिसाब से अगर आप देखेंगे ये चीज हम लोग करवाते थे when I was principal nearly 14 years back. We used to do, and the teachers still are very much highly thankful. Abhi bhi bolte hain, abhi bhi contact mein hai. Those teachers right from the beginning till date. Now they are on the verge of retirement, but still they are in contact. So try doing these things. Gauge the effectiveness of your lesson plan. When you reflect, you will find ki where did I stop and what made me stop over there. Whether my knowledge was not there, my comprehension or language was not there, I was not getting appropriate words to express myself, whatever it is, write it out. And next time, when it comes in front of you, you will be able to improve upon. Next one is the second last C. Reflection is basically analyze whether the roadmap for your deliveries is centered or catered to all types of learners, slow as well as faster. Yes or no? And if your lesson plan is well defined, well structured, well planned, I'm 100% sure that when you go for the evaluation process over there, you will find that yes, it was 100% effective. But still it will be in your mind, still I have to improve a little bit more. As I told you in the last ones, Bloom's taxonomy is the best tool in your hands in the teaching profession. This is the best tool. Over 1.5 months, 45 days exactly, you have tried to revise Bloom's taxonomy and its application in different parts of teaching profession. A number of them are there. Try to implement those things. Apne aap hi karo, practice karo. And if you think so that you need evaluation by me, you can send it through WhatsApp to me, sir. I have prepared lesson plan. I have prepared question paper. I have prepared assessment plan. And please see whether it can be improved further or not. I am always there. Don't think so that it will be for 40 minutes, 90 minutes, 100 minutes. Forget about it. I'm there to help you every time. Next is the last one. Questions to consider while you are reflecting. First thing is, what aspects were implemented differently when you plan? I was planning to go from Ghaziabad to Delhi, but border was too much crowded that I took half an hour more. So I had to get down at the border, cross the border on the feet, and then took another transport. So this was done differently. I planned something else and it happened something else. Next is why this difference happened and what the next time what I will do to prevent these type of roadblocks so that they don't prevent me in reaching my destination or objective clearly with effectiveness so that they cater to all type of learners up to 100%. Clear to everybody? Now this is the last slide. You can note down my mail ID and my telephone number. If you want to talk, you can, but after 11 in the morning. And if you want to give me a mail, you can note down the mail also, give me the problem, or otherwise you can DM me, direct message me through WhatsApp. I will stop sharing the screen here. And now if you need some clarification, because still there are 9 minutes, we can continue for question answer sessions. If you have got any problems, come up with that. In the meantime, I will have a sip of water because nearly more than 50 minutes have gone, me only speaking. Yes, anybody, if you have got any problem, please come up.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, Vinita ji.
Thank you for the wonderful session, sir.
My
Sir,
pleasure.
I need to raise. Sir,
Yeah, at least you are today in the
yes,
session.
Yes, sir. Yesterday I couldn't make it because there was heavy thunder and rain here.
Forget about thunder and
I
rain.
supply with.
You have to reach the destination. Let the nature
Yeah,
do
sir.
whatever they want to do.
Yeah, it's power
Yesterday it could
fluctuation
not
and
happen,
that.
but today it happened.
Yes,
Today it
definitely.
happened or not?
Right, sir.
The thing is that if you have got the will, there is always a
Yes.
way.
Yeah. Sir, my query is, you said that you normally ask the teachers to prepare a 15-day, fortnightly lesson plan.
Yep.
So when they prepare a fortnightly lesson plan, how do they submit the daily, day-wise objectives and per day?
Madam, not day wise. This is what I am saying. Ki when you are going to your class, you must have the objective clear in your minds. You cannot write it. There are 210 working days in a working school, 210 working days minimum. And if you have got 5 classes, which means 1000 pages daily basis pe can you write?
No,
In a
that's
year,
good.
1000 lesson plans. You cannot. So what my purpose was, ki each one of them used to write one lesson plan in their teacher's diary. I will make a list myself. Which day, which lesson, which class, which section, what topic, which teacher. I used to write everything. And then looking at that, I used to make my own observation schedule. And I used to go to the class as per that schedule. Today, right in the morning on the desk, I will see, oh, today is 26th. I have got 2 lessons to observe. Fine. अपने चपरासी को ही बोल देंगे कि भाई थर्ड पीरियड हो जाएगा तो मुझे याद दिलवाना सर क्लास है. So I will know that I have to go for observation. I will sit over there for 10 minutes. Having so much experience, certainly I can observe, I can find out. And I tell you one thing, before you do this, if you are principal, before you do this, please ensure to develop confidence in your teachers that it is not a B.Ed class. It is not a master's class. It is, we are over here to observe each other. Sometimes you make delivery. You present an lesson of your subject and ask 4, 5, 6 teachers who are sitting idle in the class, in the staff room, just gossiping only. Ask them to come to my class. 4th period, I am free, come to my class. Observe me and find out, reflect on my presentation. Where it was less, where it was more, and then give me the feedback. You have to give the feedback. You cannot say it was excellent, it was marvelous, it was wonderful. Nothing is like that. There has to be flaw in my presentation also. I used to do that. Then only they will be developing confidence ki yaar iske andar, if he has got shortcomings, certainly we are bound to have. So there is no harm in collaborating with each other to learn something new, something more. Got Vinita ji?
Yes, sir, I agree. I understand what you're saying. But then the thing is, when we go to observe the class, that day's particular class will have certain objectives, no?
Yes, they will write the lesson plan. This is what I am saying. You will go as per the
They'll
schedule.
write for all the 15 days. They'll
Not
write for all
15
the
days. It is
15
not possible, ma'am. As a principal, I had to work 500 things. 500 things in a day. It is never possible for a principal to go for all observations every day. Never possible. You tell me, how much time do you have? 8 lessons in a day for one teacher. If there are 20 teachers also, then there will be also, you multiply that by that. 8 lessons. In one lesson, you have to go for maximum 2. If you go for 2 observations, and that is why I say after 15 days, for every 15 days, only one day they will choose, they will prepare their lesson. And if this becomes a habit, every 15 days, they will repeat it for months. So by the end of the year, they will have this habit to develop their objectives in the mind and then only deliver. It is not possible for lesson plan for every day.
All right, thank you. Sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else, if it is there? All right, it is not there, then certainly we come to an end of this session. You will get your certificate and recording of this session probably by day after. Certificates are on the verge of being finished, 170. And obviously over here today, there are 50 participants. Mark your presence by writing P in the chat box. I will find it out who has written P and certificates, or only those people will go who are present. Just I am conducting webinar not only for the purpose of certificate. I am putting up these webinars to action for the purpose of empowerment. Within next 2-3 years, next generation of B.Ed trainees and new teachers will be ready. And if I am not up to date, so be ready to be replaced. No attachment with the management, principal, administrator, trustee, chairman. Nothing will work there except your expertise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, people are writing P, so I cannot end it here, but the session is over. If you could get any doubts in your mind any time of next 15 days, 20 days, or even throughout the session, you can write to me now in the chat, in direct message, not the chat box, direct message, because chat box will be inactivated after the session is over. So there are 60 chats, which means more or less everybody. June Fernandez madam is also there. That's great. Thank you very much, ma'am, to be here. Nivedita ma'am, she is what you call सूत्रधार. हमारे हर वेबिनार के सूत्रधार हैं. She is our director.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your support. Without your support, certainly we cannot move further. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice dinner and a nice sleep in the night. Not now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.